एक बार फिर से स्वागत है आप सभी का हमारे YouTube चैनल में। आज हम आपके लिए फिर से एक नया वीडियो लेके आए हैं। तो वीडियो को शुरू करने से पहले अगर आपने हमारा चैनल अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो चैनल को ज़रूर से ज़रूर सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन दबाना बिल्कुल मत भूलें, ताकि हम फ्यूचर में कोई भी वीडियो अपलोड करें उसका नोटिफिकेशन सबसे पहले आपको मिल जाए। तो चलिए वीडियो को स्टार्ट करते हैं। आज हम आपके लिए जो टॉपिक लेके आए हैं वो बिज़नेस स्टडीज़ का टॉपिक है और टॉपिक का नाम है कंट्रोलिंग। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। व्हाट इज़ कंट्रोलिंग? कंट्रोलिंग इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट मैनेजरियल फंक्शन. It is concerned with taking necessary measures or preventions or actions to ensure the achievement of organizational goal. Or we can say that controlling function can be defined as comparison of actual performance with the planned performance. If there is any deviation, then finding the reason for such differences and then taking the corrective measures or actions to stop those reasons, so that in future there is a match between actual and planned performance. Controlling is determining what is being accomplished, that is evaluating the performance and if necessary apply the corrective measures so that performance take place according to plans. So now let's talk about the importance of controlling. First one is it helps in achieving the organizational goal. Under this, when the plans are made in the organizations, these are directed toward the achievement of organizational goal, and the controlling function ensure that all the activities in the organization take place according to the plan, and if there is any deviation, timely action is taken to bring the activities on the path of planning. When all the activities are going according to the plan, then automatically this will direct toward achievement of organizational goal. Next one is judging the accuracy of standard. This means through strategic controlling, we can easily judge whether the standards or the target that are set are accurate or not. An accurate control system revises standard from time to time to match them with environmental changes. Third one is making the efficient use of resource. Under this, like traffic signals, control the guides the organization and keep it on the right track. Each activity is performed according to the predetermined standard. As a result, there is most and effective use of resource. Fourth one is improving the employees' motivation. This means an effective control system communicates the goal and standard of appraisals for employees to subordinate well in advance. A good control system also guides employees to come out from their problems. This free communication and care motivate the employees to give better performance. Fifth one is ensure the order and discipline. Control creates an atmosphere of order and discipline in the organization. Effective controlling system keep the subordinates under check and make sure they perform their function efficiently. Sharp control can have a check over dishonesty and fraud of employee. Strict control monitors employee work on computer monitors, which bring more order and discipline in the work environment. Next one is help in improving the performance of the employees. Controlling insists on continuous check on the employees, and control help in creating an atmosphere of order and discipline. Under the controlling function, it is made sure that employees are aware of their duties as well as responsibilities very clearly. They must know clearly the standard against which the performance will be judged. These standard helps the employee to work efficiently. And the last one is controlling helps in minimizing the errors. This means small errors or small mistakes may not seriously affect the organizations. But if we talk about these errors are repeated again and again, it will become a serious matter and can bring the disaster for the organizations. An effective controlling system help in minimizing the error by continuous monitoring and check. The manager try to detect the error on time and take the remedial step to minimize the effect of error. So now there are also some limitations of controlling. So let us talk each one of them. First one is difficulty in setting quantitative standards. Control system loses its effectiveness when standard of performance cannot be defined in quantitative term. And it is very difficult to set quantitative standard for human behavior. Efficiency level, human behavior and job satisfaction, employees morale and etc. These are some of the terms in which quantitative standards are very difficult to set. In such case, judgment depend upon the discretion of managers. Next one is no control over the external factor. An enterprise cannot control the external factors such as government policies, technological changes, changes in fashion, changes in competitor policies, etc. Next one is costly affair. Control is an expensive process as it involves a lot of time and effort, as sufficient attention has to be paid to observe the performance of the employees. To install an expensive control system, organizations have to spend large amount. Management must compare the benefit of controlling system with the cost involved in installing them. The benefit must be more than the cost involved, then only controlling will be effective, otherwise it will lead to inefficiency. And the last one is resistance from employees. Employees often resist control and as a result effectiveness of control reduces. Employees feel control reduces or curtails their freedom. Employee may resist and go against the use of cameras to observe them minutely. So let us talk about some relationship between planning and controlling. The planning and controlling function of management are very closely related. Their relation between both the function is explained below. First one is meaning. Planning is the basic function of every enterprise. As in planning, we decide what is to be done, how is to be done, and when it is to be done and by whom it must be done. Planning fills the gap between where we are standing today and where we want to reach in the future. If we can talk about the controlling meaning, controlling means keeping a check that everything is in accordance with the plan, and if there is any deviation, whether it is large or small, then taking the preventive measures to stop that deviation. The meaning of controlling make it clear that controlling function is undertaken for right and timely implementation of plan. Second one is planning and controlling are interdependent and interlinked. Planning and controlling function always coexist or have to exist together as one function depend on other. The controlling function compares the actual performance with the planned performance, and if there is no planned performance, then controlling manager will not be able to know whether the actual performance is okay or not. The base for comparison or the yardstick to check is given by planning to controlling function. On the other hand, the planning function is also dependent on controlling function, as plan are not made only on paper, but these have to be followed and implemented in the organization. The controlling function makes sure that everyone follow the plan strictly. Continuous monitoring and check in controlling function make it possible that everyone follow the plan. So we can say that both the function are interlinked and interdependent. As for successful execution of both the function, planning and controlling must support each other. And the last one is planning and controlling are both backward looking as well as forward looking. Controlling is backward looking because, like a post-mortem of past activities, the managers look back to the previous year performance to find out its deviation from standard planning. Is also backward looking because planning is guided by the past experience and feedback report of controlling function. Planning is forward looking because plans are prepared for future. It involves looking in advance and making policies for maximum utilization of resource in future. Controlling is also forward looking because controlling does not end only by comparing past performance with standard. It involves the finding out the reason for deviation and suggest the measure so that these deviation do not occur in future. So let us talk about the controlling process. Controlling process involves the 5 steps. So let us talk each one of them in detail. First one is setting up of standard or targets. Standard means target or the yardstick against which the actual performance is measured. The standard become basis for comparison and the manager insists on following of standards. The standard that are set, it must be achievable. High or very high standard which cannot be achieved are of no use. Standard must be set up keeping in mind the resource of the organization, and as far as possible standard must be set up in numerical or measurable terms. Second one is measuring of performance. After setting up of the standards, the performance of the employees is measured by evaluating the actual work done by the employees. When the performance can be measured numerically, then it is very convenient to measure the performance. While measuring the performance, the quantitative as well as qualitative aspects of the performance is kept in mind. Third one is comparing the performance against the standards. After measuring the performance, the manager compare the actual performance with the planned performance. If there is match in both the controlling function, ends there only. But if manager find that there is a mismatch or deviation, then the manager try to find out the extent of deviation, and if the deviation is minor, then it should be ignored, but if the deviation is more, then timely action must be taken. Fourth step is analyzing the deviation. All deviation need to be brought to the notice of top management. A range of deviation should be established, and only cases beyond this range should be brought to the knowledge of the top level management. They must divide the deviations in two categories: deviation which need to be attended urgently in one category, and minor or insignificant decision in other category. And the last one is taking corrective measures. On comparing the actual performance with the planned performance, the manager will come to know about the deviation between the plan and the actual performance. Thus, the next step is to know the reason for such a deviation and then trying to remove deviation in the future. The manager takes measure to bring back everything on the track, that is, according to the plan. Taking the corrective measure may involve taking the corrective measure may involve, that is, let the situation remain same if the deviation are very small or they can be negligible. Or second one is redesign or reframe the plan or strategies if these are overstated or not matching with the present day business environment. Feedback in controlling. The controlling function does not end by taking the corrective action, as it is a continuous process. After suggesting the corrective measure, a feedback report is prepared. Feedback refer to the list of reason for deviation of plans or for inefficiency in overall working of organization. Along with the reasons, the corrective measure are also specified in the feedback report, and feedback act as a base to establish the standard for next year, and controlling process again start from the first step. Deviation in controlling. Deviation refer to the difference between actual performance and the standard performance. It may be of two types. First one is positive deviation. When the actual performance is better than the planned performance, it is called positive deviation. And if we talk about the negative deviation, when the actual performance is less than the planned performance, it is called as negative deviation. Sorry, here the term will be negative. So let us talk about the techniques of managerial control. The main techniques of managerial control can be classified into two following categories. First one is traditional techniques and the second one is modern technique. So let us first talk about the traditional techniques of controlling. These are the techniques which are commonly used by various companies. Although in present environment these have become outdated, but still many companies are using traditional techniques. Some of the traditional techniques may be: first one is personal observation. Under this is the most traditional and most popular method of controlling. Under this, the manager observes the subordinate while they are performing their jobs. They generally note down their observation. With the help of these observations, they can easily analyze the performance of the employees. And by comparing the performance chart of current year with the previous year, the manager can know the progress of their performance. Second one is statistical reports. Various concepts of stats such as graphical presentation, correlation, averages, percentage, ratios, etc. are very useful in analyzing the performance of the employees. By converting performance report into stats chart or table, you can easily point out the progress or deviation of performance. Third one is break-even analysis. Break-even analysis is a useful technique to study the relationship between cost and profit. Break-even point is a point of no profit and no loss. When sales reaches break-even point, It refers to sale amount at which company is neither earning the profit and nor incurring the loss. With the help of break-even analysis technique, manager can estimate profit at level of cost and revenue. The last one is budgetary control. Budget is a statement of expected result and expected cost that are expressed in the numerical terms. Budget is a statement which help us to know the future result, and to achieve these result how much we will have to spend. There are different types of budget which can be prepared by an organization. For example, sales budget, production budget, financial budget, cash budget, etc. In the budgetary control techniques, the estimated results are compared with the actual results. The variation between these two indicate inefficiency. The budgetary control provides the following benefit to the company. First one is budgeting focus on standards or objective. Second one is budget helps subordinates to compare their performance with budgetary standard and can do self-appraisal. The success of budgetary techniques depend upon the estimation of standard. As far as possible, we should prepare the flexible budget due to dynamic environment, that is changing environment. So these are the traditional techniques. Let us talk about the modern techniques. Nowadays, the common control technique preferred by companies are: first one is return on investments. Return on investment is a useful technique of controlling overall performance of company. It is also known as return on capital employed. The essence of this approach is that profit is not taken as an absolute figure, but it is considered in relation to capital invested. With this method, we can compare the earning of one company with other even when they have invested different capital, because it determines the ratio of earning and not the absolute earning. Next one is ratio analysis. It refers to the evaluation and analysis of financial statement by calculating some important ratios. The most important ratio which help to draw important conclusion from the financial elements are liquidity ratio, solvency ratio, and profitability ratio, and the last one is turnover ratio. These ratios help us to know the short-term solvency of the firm. These ratios help us to draw the important conclusion from financial statement. Next one is responsibility accounting. Under this technique of controlling, organization is divided into various responsibility centers, and the head of each center is responsible for the achievement of their centers. These responsibility centers are generally various sections or department of the organizations, and head of the department is considered as responsibility head, as he is responsible for the overall growth and the achievement of his department or center. The common type of responsibility center created in the organization are cost center, revenue center, profit center, and the last one is investment center. Fourth technique is management audit. This control techniques help to measure the efficiency level of manager. Financial audit has been used by the firm from long time, but the management audit is a new concept. Although there is no chartered accountancy degree which is authorized to do management audit, but still many companies are doing management audit to find out the overall performance of manager. Management audit is a comprehensive and constructive review of the performance of management team of any organization. Manager perform various functions such as planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling, etc. The main purpose of management audit is to see that these functions are performed efficiently and effectively. Next one is network technique, that is PERT and CPM. The object of network analysis is to help in planning, organizing and controlling the operations to enable the management in accomplishing the project economically and efficiently. These techniques deal with the time scheduling and resource allocation for these activities and aim at the effective execution of projects within given time schedule and cost. There are various type of network technique, but PERT, that is program evaluation and review technique, and CPM, that is critical path method, are the most popular technique. PERT provide the framework for treating wide range of product management problem. PERT provide manager with the information they need in planning and controlling schedules and cost in developing project. Under the CPM, that is critical path method, the project is analyzed into different operation or activities and their relationship are determined and shown on the network diagram. PERT and CPM are commonly used in shipbuilding, aircraft manufacturing and other construction projects. And the last one is management information system. Under this, it is a controlling technique which provide information and support for effective managerial decisions making. Right decision can be taken at the right time only when manager receive accurate and timely informations. Management information system provide the required information to manager on time and systematically. MIS is a communication tool for manager. By getting the information on time, manager can take timely action if actual performance is different from the planned performance. MIS focus on providing the right information to the right person at the right time in right quantity. So that's all what I have tell you about the controlling. If you feel any difficulty in any of the slides, then please comment me in the comment box. I will try to resolve your issue. And if you like my video, then please press the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel, and always try to press the bell icon for more and more updates. Thanks for watching.